Times were tough, so I sold my soul. And I don't think I'll ever regain control. Devil looked me in the eye, now I look the other way. What else could I do? I just stood at the doorway, knew I'd rather be drunk with you. I'd rather be drunk.
Hey Internet, Dracofunk here. And I would like to wish everybody in the United States a happy 4th of July, even though this video comes out a day later. I am in fact currently sitting in our nation's capital, Washington, D.C. I am just outside of the capital, actually. Well, that's not true. I think I actually am in Washington, D.C. But I am sitting in a hotel room right now, recording this voiceover. And last episode of the 100 subscriber special, Jaylee Kerman flew the K-21 Scout aircraft back to the KSC to refuel, and as you can see, we have full fuel tanks. She is taxiing to the end of the runway, and in a moment she's going to turn around and we are going to fly back towards where the Rover train is, and actually not right to it, because we want to scout ahead. So she pulls up to the end of the runway, gets clearance from the tower to take off, and now she is on her way. And what I'm trying to figure out right now is which direction to go, because there is a more southeasterly route, or a route where we actually travel west for a second and then travel south, and I'm not sure which direction to go. There are a couple mountain ranges, and if we go the southeasterly version, I think there's actually another river crossing that we might have to do. But if the route is smoother, we might do that. And I usually try and time it. If I take off in the dark at the KSC, it's usually light where I'm flying, but I might have left a little bit too early. And right now, I'm trying to get there as quickly as possible, so I'm jumping out of the atmosphere and gliding back down, and not necessarily as quick as possible, but as quickly as possible while still conserving fuel, because I want this fuel to last as long as I can. And it unfortunately is a little bit dark. So I'm just going to do what I can, and hopefully this doesn't really negate the scouting part of our mission. And I'm trying to just see what the terrain looks like. And it actually doesn't look too bad along this route. I might be just a little bit too high. There is that little bit of just a couple hills. Just popping in the map view to see where I'm at. So I don't think this is too bad so far. So at least for this part of it, because I will have a chance to switch routes once I get around that first mountain range. So I think I'm going to stay on this route where I head west. So now I'm going to turn around. I got to make sure I stay to the south of all those lakes that I'm passing. And I'm going to land the aircraft a little bit downrange. And I can use this as a beacon. So there's that first ridge I'm kind of worried about. I need to go a little bit to the north of it. So what I'm going to do is have Jaylee land the aircraft kind of in that direction. And that should save me from making any mistakes. And of course, as I get close to the ground, it ends up being a little bit more not optimal. Don't really want to land on a upslope, but it's fine. Just turn this way a little bit. I'm doing this landing in real time, so you can see. Okay. And now, actually, I didn't even notice I had touched the ground. So, there we are. And we have a fair amount of distance between there and the Rover train. Now, I want to keep this episode to right around an hour. And I think I'm far enough away. Actually, I know I'm far enough away because I've already recorded this. And I do end up getting there a little bit early, but it was like 57 minutes and 40 seconds when I actually arrived, so that's close enough. I usually give myself, if I'm like really close, and when I come up to the Rover train, if the Rover train is really close to my waypoint at the end of an hour, I'll keep going just a little bit over. But today I come up just a little bit early, not enough that I'm really concerned. But we are continuing, having crossed the river, and we're heading in a more almost due west right now. And that's just the direction we're going to have to go. And the sun is now rising on the Rover train. And I'm not going to do a full episode of driving this time. Next episode, I'll probably do another scouting mission where I go a little bit further away. But since we were coming from the KSC today, I didn't want to spend, the whole point of these episodes are driving to the South Pole. And I didn't want to spend too much of the episode flying an aircraft, which is not the Rover train. Even though it is a critical part of the mission. And I did notice once I started on this and am on the ground that the terrain here is not as flat as it seemed from the aircraft. And right now it's okay, but a little bit later I start actually to question if I'm heading in the correct direction. As you can see, like now I'm starting to go over a whole bunch more hills and actually getting a little bit of airtime with the whole Rover train, but I think we're okay. And then now off in the distance, you can finally see that first mountain range that I need to kind of go around. And right now I notice I'm kind of heading right for that little indentation that has two lakes in it. And I want to make sure I don't, like, if I would have headed straight to the aircraft, I would have driven right through there, and that probably wouldn't be good. So I need to make sure I drive around that. Let's get a good shot for the title card. I've noticed that people tend to like title cards that have the Rover train and the sun, so that's what I'm going for. And so this part of the continent, I'm basically heading mostly west, a little bit south, but I'm following the north. I guess this is like the northern route to get to the South Pole, if that makes sense. Like, I could turn here and go all the way down the mountain range and go around the southern end of the mountain range, but I think the northern route is going to be better, at least for now, and that's why I'm going to scout ahead with the aircraft. And from the aircraft, it looked pretty... Sorry, I'm yawning. I usually record these in the morning, and this time I'm actually recording this in the evening. But I have to do what I can when I can, since I'm out of town. And my time for recording is limited a bit, and also I have to, render the video and then upload it. And in order for this to come out in time, I kind of have to do things a little bit different. Like, I actually recorded the video for this not in the Capitol and brought it along with me, and then did the first edit here, and I'll do the second edit also here, and probably upload it also while I'm here. Well, if I don't upload it when I'm here, then this didn't come out in time, which, that could happen, but hopefully not. And this section right here, I started to get worried because it's worrisome when you go down a hill and have to come back up, because that's where, if it's too steep of a change, you could have a problem. And I want to avoid problems. So my biggest concerns with this are going down a hill, and as you exit the trough, if it's too severe a change, I could actually shear off the front of the Rover train, and if it's bad enough, actually destroy the locomotive again, because that happened once. And the other thing is, if I come up onto a hill and am leaning too much one way or the other, that the whole thing would tip over. So sometimes I will alter my direction a little bit, just so I'm, coming straight up a hill as opposed to skirting along the side or going at an angle. Like, if it's a really steep hill, it's better to try and power up it or down it, as opposed to, heading straight towards my beacon or my waypoint or what have you. So this is one of the larger hills that I had to negotiate. And it looked worse than it actually ended up being, because it looked really steep for a second, and then it kind of tapered off, and now I'm already heading back down. And I hope my voice is okay. Like, I don't know, like, being in a new city, for some reason, like, I feel like I have stuff in my throat. I'm not sure what that's about. But here I am, a little bit early. We have arrived back at the scouting aircraft, and I'm just going to go ahead and stop here. And next week we will continue on our journey. I think this is episode 22 of the 100 subscriber special. So it's been 22 hours or 22 episodes since we left the North Pole. I think we did the whole North Pole expedition in around 20 episodes. I'm not sure. I could go back and look. But so I figured the river was a halfway point, so we're more than halfway there. But anyway, join us next time as I continue. And hey, watch my reusable space program videos, which is in the same save as this. And watch our other movie commentary videos. Thanks, guys, and I'll see you next time.